It's representative football weekend here in Sydney, and we're here at Blacktown International Sports Park for the AFL Sydney versus AFL Cairns game, and we're just about to get underway. The first bounce being recalled by the umpire. It's a beautiful day down here, sunny morning here at Blacktown International Sports Park, and as I said, we're looking forward to a fantastic clash between these two sides, AFL Sydney and AFL Cairns. And right now, just getting underway, and it's Sydney through the middle who have the first use of the football, pushing forward. It's good to see representative football back for the weekend, and these two teams met a couple of years ago up there in Cairns, and the result then was a 16-point win to the home side at the time, which was Cairns. And the Sydney boys will be looking to turn the tables on that result here this afternoon, or this morning. Old habits die hard. Mason there with the ruck work from Sydney. Pushes them inside 50. Oh, good attempt at the mark there, but not be able to bring it down. And now it could have been high contact, and it is. And the first shot on goal will be to the boys in sky blue. And they'll be very keen to get the score on the board early. Matt Rawlinson with the footy. Rawlinson from the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs side. The kick, not a good one. Just couldn't get the distance, and maybe just cold feet early morning. And the mark was taken on the line there by Campbell. Now Cairns moving it out. The boot of Locke. Down the line, good fly there from Clough, but couldn't bring it in. Now the Sydney boys repel the attack. Back to Rawlinson. Too far out to score, you'd think, based on his last attempt at goal. Good spoil there by Lucas Elick from the Cairns side, and the ball trickles over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. No score here as yet at Blacktown International Sports Park. Early start for the players. They'd be a very different start to them for a football afternoon. Of course, giving them every opportunity to take in a bit of AFL football this afternoon as the Giants take on Geelong at Skoda Stadium. Third man up there was Elick. And now the boys try and move it through. Powell pushing through hard through the ruck. Gets the ball going forward. But it's all Sydney here at the moment. Parika will run onto this. Good attempt, and he just toe pokes it through. Dangerous play there. Lurking is Rokeby, but couldn't get there. And Sydney get it out of defence. And once again, hit to a contest. And good work by the Cairns player. I think that was Tenick. And inside 50 they go again. Can they find a target? No, it's chopped off there by Ryan Plant. And his kick is a good one. Comes up to Goodall from the Pennant Hills Football Club. Moving it well, the captain, Matt Carey, also from Pennant Hills, and his kick inside finds a target. Down the ground is Collett, and those two faced off each other last week as the Bulldogs took on Pennant Hills. This has been a good play by the Sydney boys, just moving the ball nicely. Round now goes inside and finds a target, and it's a good one. And very good movement of the football from the Sydney boys. Ends up finally in the hands of Nick Ryan, and he traditionally is a very good shot on goal, and he'll fancy his chances from here. Will kick from just on the 50 paint. This to open the scoring for this morning, and for the Sydney boys. Looks good off the boot, just fading late, and just the minus score. So first scores on the board behind to AFL Sydney. So McCartney will bring it back in for the Cairns side. Sydney have set up a fairly good zone, but he's decided to go long and try and break the line. And there's plenty of sky blue around here as well. In there for the Cairns was not. His handball It's a tough one, and wrapped up once again was Campbell. We'll have a ball up. Doing the ruck work there, Ericsson for the Blues, for Sydney. Good all in there as well. He's wrapped up at the bottom of the tackle, and we'll have another ball up. We're just in that period at the moment where both sides are just trying to get their structures right and work out who their opponents are. Now Cairns move the ball forward. It's a good kick. Lands in the arms there of Rokeby. His kick, just a little chip over side. Probably not the best option. Comes back out. Plenty of sky blue there, trying to break the lines. Now Round does well. Gets it back to Parika. And they get the ball through Carey. Carey on the run now. Loves a left foot. Nice chiseling pass inside 50. Didn't quite hit the target in Rawlinson. He's wrapped up now, and the umpire will come in and ball this up. So just needed a little bit more height on the kick, I feel, from Carey. Give Rawlinson a better option of getting to it. Doing the ruck work there for Cairns was Westerberg, and now they're away. Looking there for Powell. His hands out now. Finds Tannick. They've been working well together early, but on this occasion the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in centre wing. Really keen to see Matthew Walsh for the Cairns side. Very well decorated player, captaining the side today, and certainly be looking to score a few goals today. He kicked 234 goals in the AFL Cairns competition in 2012. He's been a rep 5 times, 2 times Queensland player, and captain of the Queensland side as well. So highly decorated is Matthew Walsh. Haven't seen him yet. Oh, could have been contact there. Lock came in hard, but just pulled out at the last minute, so it didn't affect the free kick. Umpires today: Carl Fletcher, Lachlan McDonald, and Rowan Tattersall. So we give them good luck. Jewis it was that got the handball out now. Cairns down the far wing. In front there of Boone, turning back on it. Good block there put on by Dixon. Now Boone with a big raking handball. Comes across to Clough. Clough now goes inside 50 looking for a target. Walsh is there at the back, but it's chopped off. And Sydney will relieve the pressure. So not a lot on offer at the moment going forward for Cairns, but this one might be an opportunity now. Nugent. Mark Nuggan. Not sure how you pronounce him there, so we'll go with Nuggan. Just sounds like a better football name. Sydney now coming out of defence. Carey with a nice little handball up. They're away. Looking for a target inside 50. Goodall, the unlikely target, as a forward option. Now goes to the back of the pack. Handball up was a good one. Gets it now through, and it's with Armitage. Armitage turns back like he likes to do, but didn't quite get the right side of the football there. And out of bounds on the full is the end result. So scoring hard to come by here at Blacktown International Sports Park at the moment. Just the one behind on the scoreboard to the AFL Sydney side. Now out of defence. Ball with Elik. And just working it through. Ends up back in the arms of Elik. Now he goes fine, finds a target on the ground. It's Guy. Clint Guy. Just wants to go short. They've run well out of defence here. It's with Powell. Powell now inside 50. Their first real scoring option for the Cairns boys. Going back on the ball was Nichols. He's tackled out of it, and they've come back on a good smother there on off the boot. The Sydney boys have done well here, but they've got themselves into a bit of a trouble. Round the corner there, it's a fantastic shot on goal, and Cairns have got the first on the board off the boot of Sean Knott. Sean Knott gets the first goal on the board for the Cairns side. And they open up their scoring account with a major. So it's 0-1 Sydney, and the one straight goal to Cairns. It was a good kick. Didn't have a lot of room to play with, and was able to just turn it around the corner and gets the score on the board. Good tackle there applied. Started to find a little bit of feet the Cairns side. And that was a good kick. Goes to Powell. He just faded to play on. The umpire said he did play on, and holding the ball is the decision. So not a lot of margin of error there for the Cairns side. And the kick now has gone in, and it's found Nick Ryan. It'll be a good kick from here. He's got the approval to go for goal. He'll kick from well outside 50. And it'll have to be a good kick to travel the journey. The cricket players will tell you the ball doesn't travel so well through the air early in the morning. Nick Ryan gives it a good roost. Has it got the journey? No, but the mark's been taken, and it's Henry Mason. Not great defence there from Cairns. Needed to push that one through. It was right on the line. And Henry Mason, the big bulldog, comes in, and he puts the first on the board for AFL Sydney. So they open their goal scoring account and take the lead back. They lead by 1 point. 1-1-7 plays 1 goal straight. So we're back in the middle. Sydney with their first on the board. Came off the boot of Mason. And that one will come back. Ruckman go out at least steer in the ruck for Sydney. High contact. Free kick. Goes to Rawlinson. Now they break. Go wide looking for Goodall. Plenty in pursuit of him. Comes back. Now Goodall has to do the work. The quick handball's not a good one, and it ends up turnover to Locke. Locke goes down the line. Parika there mopping up for AFL Sydney. They go back to where it came from, looking for Lee Steer. He's made a good approach on the ball, but it travels over for a boundary throw-in. 11 minutes played, first quarter. Lee Steer up against Edney, Tyson Edney for AFL Cairns. And they've done this well. Now in the hands of Clint Guy. Guy goes inside 50, looking for the live wire in Rokeby. Rokeby throws it on the left boot. Has he got the accuracy? He hasn't. Just pushes it wide. So the minus score ties up the scores here. I like the look of Rokeby. Isaac Rokeby will cause some issues in the back line of the AFL Sydney camp. Parmenter now, experienced campaigner from the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs. Goes down the line looking for Lee Steer as the option. Good play there by Haddon, who just stayed down, gave the handball back. That could be high contact. Umpire didn't see it, and it's wrapped up in the tackle. Powell with the ball. Brendan Powell from the Cairns Saints, premiership player in 2012, and brought home the league best and fairest up there in the AFL Cairns competition. So certainly a player to watch this afternoon. Good spoil there from Parika, but the ball comes clear. Goes backwards. Now in the arms of Wearmouth. He goes forward, and plenty of Sydney players there. They've been very good in the back line so far. Kick out from Wales. And it's a good one. And Sydney are away now. They've got options. Goodall's found some space on the far wing. Now goes inside looking for Mason. Also there, a couple of players around. Nick Ryan was lurking, but a good spoil. And Wearmouth gets it clear and finds Boone in the middle. So some good defensive efforts at both sides of the ground at the moment. And, a big fly there. Couldn't bring it in. It was Walsh, I think. So, in fact, it wasn't Walsh. It was Knott. A certain contender if he'd have brought that one down. As we go, Inside 50 again. Parika, he's been good for the AFL Sydney side, running out of defence. Has he got some pace? He's being run down, had to run the angles. In the end, was good enough to get the kick away. Nuggan now goes backwards, trying to find Edney. And just trying to kick it off the boot. And once again, AFL Cairns have been able to mop up the scraps. Good spoil there for AFL Sydney. That is Parmenter. And just was able to stop a little bit of the momentum that the AFL Cairns side were building. Scores a level, 14 minutes played here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Third man up brings down there to Bradshaw, but he's wrapped up in the tackle and the turnover comes. Armitage now on the left, just swings around the corner, looking up there for Miller. And he's got the ball now, but he's going to be wrapped up in the tackle. Must get it clear. Umpire will have a quick look at this one. It's being held to him, so not a lot he can do in that occasion. Tackle there from McCartney. Ball up, the result. And AFL Cairns are away. They go down the line in the arms of Smart. Matthew Smart from the Menunda Hawks. New player in the AFL Cairns competition in 2013, and he finds himself in the rep squad. Good mark taken there by Boone. Goes backwards. Now they go inside 50 again. Another scoring opportunity for AFL Cairns. Trying to get back on there is Clough. Clough applies the tackle well, and Carey just comes across, and we'll see a boundary throw in just around from the Cairns goal line. And a half minutes played, playing under normal AFL 20 minutes plus time on rules here for this rep game. And Sydney are away. Wason, another experienced campaigner for the AFL Sydney side from the North Shore Club. This time he's wrapped up in a tackle, tried to do too much and was shown up there. Powell now goes inside and the kick's a good one. And Matthew Walsh, our first chance to see him. But Ron Wason there, possibly something he would get away with at club level at times, just running quickly and trying to use his strength to break the tackle, but on this occasion was wrapped up, and now the result is a shot on goal. Walsh does know how to kick a goal on this occasion, just couldn't make the journey. In fact, it hasn't run through, it's hit the post and will be a boundary throw in. As I said, Walsh kicked 134 goals in 2012, captaining the side today. Throws a big one that comes to the back of the pack. Now in the arms of Edney. Edney tries to get in there, but his kick smothered. Parika now onto the ball. Goes across goal, dangerous kick. Carey needs to get this one in, couldn't bring it in. Second effort's a good one. Throws the boot on it, and he does very, very well to get that out of the danger area, but the turnover comes. Mason falling over at the important moment, and look at the numbers here for Cairns. Just couldn't bring it in. There was Nuggan. Now in the hands of Clint Guy. Just fakes one kick, goes again. Great smother there by Armitage, and wrapped up. Tyrone Armitage, the only representative here today from the Manly Warringah Club, who were only been promoted into the Premier Division in Sydney in 2013 and currently sit undefeated on top of the ladder. So doing very well in the competition. Smart with the ball. Goes inside. Looking for Walsh, and he's got this one. He's going to pay it. Had plenty of it. And Lemmy from the Sydney side trying to plead his case, but umpire's having nothing of it. And Walsh will go back and he'll have his second shot on goal. First one was just offline and couldn't travel the journey, but this one, distance won't be an issue. To open his account, Walsh comes in, no worries on this one, and it goes through. So Walsh has got his first, and the second on the board for the AFL Cairns side. Good start by them. Let's go back to that run out of defence from Ron Wason, which affected the turnover. They were away. And in the end, it's the AFL Cairns who get another one on the board. They lead 2-1-13. AFL Sydney 1 goal, 1-7. Back in the middle, 19 minutes played here, first quarter. Good ruck work there by Ericsson from the AFL Sydney side and running onto it at pace but couldn't bring it in. And now the turnover comes. Lock, a big kick out of defence looking for Walsh again. 2-on-1 contest there. Clint Guy there roving the pack, does very well to get the ball up. And high contact here, and the kick will go to Cairns, I feel. It will. And it'll be Boone that'll take it. Turns, wants to go quickly, has a player in space, but the kick's offline. Had every opportunity there, but it landed straight in the arms of Ron Wason. And now AFL Sydney try to move the ball away. Haddon down the line. Good mark taken there. I think he almost gave up on it. And even the umpire needed to be convinced, although he's just juggled that over the line. Tough call for Rawlinson. So Ericsson doing the ruck work against Hyson Edney. Edney giving up a lot of bulk and a bit of height, but they've done well. Armitage now for Sydney. He goes backwards. Finds Haddon again. Trying to move the ball through the middle. Couldn't affect the mark there, and the handball was a good one away from Wearmouth. And now they've got some space, but couldn't use it properly. The ball's out of bounds. Kick will come back to Armitage. As I said, the Manly Warringah Club absolutely flying in 2013 after being promoted from the Division 1 competition. Happy to go sideways now with Wales. Staunch defender from the Pennant Hills Club. His kick gives up a bit of space with Matthew Round. Now with Collett, just trying to work it out of the defensive line, back to Wales, back to where they started from. And seems happy to want to do it all over again. Round. At some stage they're going to have to go forward. And the kick now looking for Wason, and just high contact there. And they get away with one there. And now, what can they build? The Sydney side wants to go central, looking for Armitage. He likes to run back on the play like that, but on this case, couldn't do so because the ball was chopped off by Ehrlich. Sydney again. And once again, kick leads them down. Bradshaw. Out to Edney. Edney goes inside. They've been moving the ball very well out of defence. Ehrlich kicks inside and looking for Rokeby. Wants to go quickly, does so. Looking for Walsh up forward. And a good mark taken. So just quick ball movement when on the transition there. And ends up in the arms of Walsh. So he'll go back and have a shot on goal. It'll be his second. Just good ball movement out of defence. It started on the defensive wing for AFL Cairns. Used to open up 12-point margin, and no worries at all for Matthew Walsh. So the margin goes out to 12 points. AFL Cairns get their third. Walsh gets his second. So starting to come into the game is Matthew Walsh, the captain. And at the moment, causing a little bit of an issue for the AFL Sydney side. Back there on him at the moment is Matthew Lemmy. And we'll need to consider their options down there as well. Playing one-on-one in the back half are the AFL Sydney side. Armitage now onto the ball. And the takeaway from the Cairns side, couldn't bring it in there, was Guy. Does very well on the second option. Now they've run through the middle. The kick from Clough goes inside looking for Walsh again. Couldn't find the handle on this one, but they've got plenty of numbers around this. Ehrlich on the board, onto the left boot, and it's through the middle. They've got another one, the Cairns side. Ehrlich gets his first. And in the dying stages of the quarter, they've put on 2 quick goals. And the margin now out to 3 goals. So danger signs for the AFL Sydney side at the moment. A little bit of work to do. Try and peg back this margin. 1-1-7 plays 4-1-25. 24 minutes played, first quarter. Westerberg in the ruck now for AFL Cairns up against Ericsson. Ericsson wins this one forward. But good work there from Clough. Sydney have got the ball back. Wrapped up is a tackle, another good tackle from Clough. He's done some good work in that centre contest. But Sydney just scrubbed the ball forward looking for Nick Ryan. Ball comes clear, has to handball indiscriminately, but plenty of players around this. Campbell on the receiving end. The ball comes clear and a shot on goal. Right on quarter time. Almost goes through. But in the end, at the end of the quarter, wasn't to be. And 1-8 to AFL Sydney. AFL Cairns got the 4 goals, including those 2 quick goals that really opened up the margin. So at quarter time, interesting quarter of football. Representative football here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It's 1-2 AFL Sydney. AFL Cairns 4 goals 1. The margin is 17 points. Join us back here in about 5 minutes' time. We'll have all the action from the second quarter. It's representative football here in Sydney. So getting set here for the second quarter at Blacktown International Sports Park. It's AFL Sydney versus AFL Cairns. The margin at quarter time, 17 points in favour of the visitors from Cairns. Goal scorers for them, 4 of them. Elick has 1, as does Sean Knott. Matthew Walsh came into the game sort of halfway through that first quarter and has kicked 2. And the only goal scorer for AFL Sydney, Henry Mason from the Bulldogs club. He's got the 1. So we're getting set for the second quarter. It's always interesting to watch these representatives games. The first quarter's a real sort of testing time for both sides, just playing against oppositions that they don't know and just trying to get the matchups right and work out how to best play this. And we start to see a little bit of a difference in the second quarter. So just about to get underway. Second quarter here at Blacktown. What can the Sydney boys do to get this margin back? 17 points the margin at the moment. We'll have a secondary ball up in the centre. Erickson doing the ruck work there, trying to get it down to Carruthers wearing the helmet this afternoon. Keep saying this afternoon. Just on 10 o'clock here. And Sydney are away. Could have had a shot on goal. Decides to go inside looking for Nick Ryan. The kick wasn't a good one. Made him turn around. And Cairns have the opportunity to get it out of defence. And that's exactly what they do. Good attack on the football from Goodall. Gets it back. Has to get rid of it now. Tries to go over his head. But ends up in the arms of Bradshaw for Cairns. Now they go. Looking for an opportunity going forward. Parika's done a very good job down there for Sydney. Inside 50 from the boot of Davies. And looking for Rokeby. He's back onto it. Just stays off the ball at the moment, looking for his opportunity through to goals. Wales turns it around and now through Carruthers. And they're away. Sydney just falling over at the crucial moment there, the defender. And Cairns able to capitalise. Handball from Westerberg. Now looking through, but Parika once again has stopped the charge and throws it on the boot. Only as far there as Mueller. Now he's in trouble, wrapped up, but able to get the ball clear. Now in the arms of Round, and we'll have a ball up right in the centre wicket area here at Blacktown. Erickson does very well to get the work down, but it's Cairns who take the ball away. Just air swing there from Elick. Could have been in the back, and it was against the defending player. Interesting free kick, but it was there. And Lucas Elick, he'll go back. Too far out to score. Walsh now on the lead. Doing well, the 2 forwards leading in opposite directions, trying to make some space, but the kick comes up like a wet fish, and Goodall able to bring this one down. Carruthers wants to go long down the line. The kick is a good one. Finds teammate in Mason. Mason now, once again, happy to use the peripheries of the grounds here. Rawlinson. This one's very close to the boundary line, and the Cairns boys will be happy to see this one over. In fact, it's going to be a ball up right on the outer wing. Erickson doing battle there with Westerberg, and it's the Sydney boys who come away off the boot of Goodall. Just inside, looking for Ryan. He tries to bring it back inside, but the ball goes over bounds. And we'll have another boundary throw in. 1 goals 2, plays 4 goals 1. Cairns leading by 17 points early in the second quarter. Lee Steer doing the ruck work in the forward line for AFL Sydney. He's up against Westerberg. Westerberg this time brings it down well, trying to push it in the path there of his teammate, and it's Jewis, Damien Jewis, who brings it away. In the arms now of Elick. He's doing a ton of work around the ground, and he comes down the line. It's a good kick, and Cairns now trying to build something now as they go inside, looking for an avenue to goal. Westerberg turns one way, goes the other way, now tries to throw it on the boot. The kick is a bit of a scrubber, almost got to where it needed to get to, but Parika now, good pick up, trying to push his way through the lines. Needs to do it again, does so. And once again, Elick doing a ton of work and gets the handball forward in the path of Davies. Now smothered off the boot there of Tennick, and having to do some scrubby work at ground level. Sydney now go backwards to go forwards. Wason this time throws it on the boot. And looking out for Haddon to run onto this one. He does so and gets away from his opponent, although that's a trip. Umpire didn't see it. It was definitely a trip there. But in the end, Haddon is able to get up and go again. Armitage's now this time wrapped up and doing some work at ground level there. Henry Mason. Could have been high tackle there. In fact, the umpire's seen it. The umpire off the ball, seen the high contact. And the kick will go to Mason. Now, he should go back and have a shot on goal here. Nick Ryan on the goal line now leads. So an open goal. Just pushing his way back now. So Mason. Kick. Has got the legs. Hasn't got the accuracy. And just a minor score. Out of defence. Kicking duties to McCartney. Goes back. Now in the arms of Locke. Happy to just maintain possession. Campbell. Player from South Cairns. Played in the 2012 Grand Final. And this one's trickled over the line. Chatter around this ball. And it's Cairns who've now pushed forward. Inside. Boone. Through to Nuggan. And now looking for Walsh. It's not Walsh up there, I don't think. It is Matthew Walsh. And he now will go back and set himself for a shot on goal. Kick two this morning already. This one looks good off the boot. Has it got the legs? It has. So it's gone straight through the middle. So Matty Walsh has got his third for the morning, and he's proving to be the difference between these two sides. 5-1 now, the Cairns side. 22 points to margin. It's a good strong mark from Matthew Walsh. Back in the minute. We played 7 minutes of this second quarter. And it's been all AFL Cairns at the moment. Dixon comes out of the ruck. Parika does the mopping up. Wason back to Parika. Just shows the ball, gets around his opponent with ease. Now going forward, trying to take the big hanger was Dixon there. Couldn't bring it in. At ground level, Dixon gets it back. Throws it on the left boot going forward. But once again, Parika. He's been pretty good there for the defensive line of the AFL Sydney side. Goodall just works his way back, does well to get the hand involved. And now with Round, just goes back in one way, looking for an avenue through to goal. Carey loves the left boot, swinging this one back. That's as good as you get. Matty Carey puts it through. A well-needed goal for the AFL Sydney side. They reduce the margin to 16 points. He loves them on the left boot, does Matt Carey. And another player who knows where the goals are and puts it through. Only their second goal for the morning. In the middle, margin 16 points. Free kick here, too many players in the square, so there's a free shot for the Cairns boys. They go forward now. Walsh was the target. 2-on-1 there, unable to bring it down. At ground level is Davies. He swings back round, throws it on the boot, having a shot on goal, but just goes through for a minor score. 5-2 now. And it's Sydney now who get it out of defence. But once again, just at ground level, chopped off. Good tackle there applied by Carruthers on the edge of being without the ball. Parika now tries to get it clear. The kick's a good one, finds Carey, the captain. And the goal scorer now goes back onto the left, looking for a teammate in Goodall. Probably trying to get to Ryan. Wasn't going to go that far. And just hustling with the hands. The Cairns boys. And they now tried to go wide, looking for Dixon, but the boundary line one out. As we said earlier, it's the Cairns boys who hold the cup at the moment, winning the game in 2011 by 16 points up there at Kazales. Now, the return leg. The home side looking to turn the tables on that one. It's a very different home side playing today, of course. In 2012, the Sydney Hills Eagles and Sydney University promoted up into the NEFL competition, so that has certainly changed the outlook. But here's one player who has come into the AFL Premier Division squad. That's Tyrone Armitage from the Manly Warringah Club, and he gets one on the board out of nowhere for the Sydney boys. Well-needed goal there from Tyrone Armitage. He does love to lurk around the goals, Armitage, and on this occasion able to get one through, and the margin back to 11 points. As I was saying, the promotion of the Sydney Hills Eagles and Sydney University into the NEFL competition in 2012 really did change the landscape of footy in Sydney, and a lot of the players that went up into that competition were playing in that 2011 game, so a very different side playing here now. But Sydney are doing well now. Carruthers hands off to Carey, another low kick inside 50, but offline, and Dewis wrapping up. They've moved this ball well. Hands from Clough. Now they go inside 50. Walsh trying to work his way to the front of the pack. Rokeby there with the wrapped up tackle. Might have been high. Umpire didn't say so. And Sydney now trying to get the ball out of defence. Good mark there taken. And umpire's going to pay that. Yes. Mark taken by McCartney. Now they go inside through Nugget. His kick offline. And Lee Steer chops this one off. A big sweeping handball. Puts his teammate. I think that was Rawlinson under a lot of pressure, and they're away. Cairns could have been holding the ball. Umpires deciding to let them play, which I like. And Wason goes back to Parmenter. Parmenter now looking for Ryan, and it's a good mark taken by Nick Ryan. Outside 50. Distance will test him. He wanted to hand off there, but has now gone back and will take his shot on goal. Nick Ryan from the St George Footy Club here in Sydney does like a shot on goal. Kicks from about 58. The distance is not a problem. The accuracy is not a problem. It's a fantastic goal from outside 50 from Nick Ryan, and a couple of goals to the Sydney boys, and they've got themselves right back in this competition. 5 points to margin. Ryan gets his first for the afternoon. Keep saying that. It is the morning. I hope you'll forgive me. So a couple of goals on the trot for AFL Sydney. They reduce the margin to 5 points. 4-3-27 plays AFL Cairns 5-2-32. 13 and a half minutes played here in the second quarter. And starting to find their feet are the AFL Sydney boys. And another one here. They'd really like to put another one on the board. Rawlinson's wrapped up in the tackle. Have a secondary bounce in the middle of the ground. Third man up was not. And the ball doing a lot of work at ground level. Wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire's called holding the ball there. Well, Rawlinson dived in and the ball was wrapped up, so a good decision there. Oh, it's good work by Cairns there. It was Elik, and in the end, Parika's gone back and taken a strong contested mark here, and in the process has come away a little bit worse for wear. Gets up. Nichols has to go back to Parika. Not a lot on offer down the side here, so just goes long down the line. 3 players up to Cairns and the ball goes over the boundary line. Good knock there from Boone. Adam Boone from Port Douglas. He's played in the rep game in 2012. Co-captain there of the Port Douglas side. Good knock to the back of the pack there, but good, well read there from Parmenter. Tried to go to Wales, he coughed it up. So the turnover and another defensive mark for Parika. And wants to move the ball to the far side. Does so now, goes to a contest. Wason there, couldn't come back on it. Handball up from Elik. And Cairns are now got an opportunity to score. They go forward. Walsh is the target. Might have got a little push out there, but it was well disguised. And Matt Lemmy takes the mark on the last line of defence for AFL Sydney. They go back to where it came from, looking for Rawlinson. Has a chance to run onto this, but Elik is there. And his kick across face has found a teammate in Clough. They move it quickly. Cairns now looking for a shot at goal, and it's landed in the helms of Sean Knott. Former Tasmanian player is Sean Knott, new to the AFL Cairns competition in 2013. Plays for the North Cairns side. Here he comes, off the left boot, the kick not a good one. Not going to go the journey, and could have been a mark taken there. They've spoiled themselves, the Cairns boys, and Sydney are able to capitalise. Wason out there in front of Round, but too much on the kick, and out of bounds on the full is the result. So just a few skill errors coming into the game in this second quarter. Parmenter now trying to get the ball clear at ground level. Does so. And having to go backwards now. Wales through the middles. Found a teammate in Fitzgerald. Dale Fitzgerald from the North Shore Club goes sideways and finds Nichols. Now they straighten up. The kick's up. Another low charging kick into forward line. Armitage there trying to run onto it. But boundary line wins out. Some of those kicks into the Sydney AFL forward line, not giving the their teammates every opportunity, coming in almost at knee level. Plenty up for this contest, plenty around the ball as well. Good all lurking, but well placked up there. AFL Cairns, and good composure around the ball there from Smart. Tries to get the ball out of the contest. Free kick here going to AFL Cairns. And still in their back 50. Now the lead is on. Done well, Cairns, now to get this out of their defensive half. A big sweeping handball. Lands in the arms of Clough. He now goes inside. Tries to find Knott and does so. Gets that one off the tips of the grass. Knott inside 50. Walsh coming through, and that's good courage backing back there onto the ball. And now with Rawlinson. Rawlinson's found Wales, who's found some space on the far wing. Turns one way, goes back inside. Wales now, and it's a good mark taken by Mason. Mason now looking for an opportunity to go forward, does so. Able to run, no one on the mark. Mason now just pops it long. Plenty underneath this. lurking in the back there. Wason's pushed himself forward. Now he's back on, tries to get on the left boot, and it just goes through for a minor score. 4 goals, 4 now, margin 4 points. Ball comes out. Plenty of blue jumpers around this one, but plenty of yellow and green as well. They've come away well. Cairns. Oh, the kick probably wasn't a good one off the boot, but gave Clint Guy the opportunity to come back on it, and he now looks for Walsh. Walsh now with a very strong set of hands, and should go back and have a shot on goal. It's kicked 3 already today. Matt Walsh lining up for his 4th goal. Gives it every opportunity. He's coming back on the breeze and just doesn't come back enough. And just the minor score. I said breeze. It's no real breeze to talk about here. Just sort of worked the angle there, did Walsh. And Sydney now found some space on the far side. Fitzgerald wants to come inside, does so. And finds Round. Round now comes in again. Oh, went without it, did Ryan Plant, but good enough to get back on it now with Wales. Parika's left his man and going for a run. Loves to have a bounce. There's Amuya Parika. Goes to the right boot. Long kick towards goal, but good mark taken by McCartney, pushing back there. His handball looking for Jewis. Gets there eventually. Handball to himself does Davies. In fact, Jewis is pushed up and boundary line comes into play. 5 points the margin in favour of AFL Cairns. Back of the pack, they've worked this well. Nuggan there, hands off, and it gives players space to run into, but coming off the line as well. There was Plant, his sweeping handball, finds Goodall. Goodall turns back on the left, looking at goals. He's going that way. It's just hit the post. Would have been a great goal. And they're in trouble again here. The Cairns boys picks it up, does Nick Ryan. And in fact, it's not Nick Ryan, it's Ericsson, I think. And the big fella off a couple of steps has put it through for another goal and puts Sydney in front for the first time this morning. 5-5 plays 5-3. .22 minutes played, second quarter. AFL Sydney now got their noses in front. It's been a good effort from them. Early in the quarter, they looked like they might have been falling away, but they've kicked on and now lead by 2 points. In there, working hard was Haddon. He's wrapped up in a tackle. A strong tackle. Umpire letting them play, and we'll have a secondary bounce. New players around this football. Ericsson goes up against the smaller opponent in Edney. Edney now works it away. Ericsson now pushing through, the goal scorer. Puts it forward. Looking for Ryan. Nick Ryan goes inside. Finds, in fact that's Edwins. He's one of his first touches of the morning. Is a kick, minor score. 3 points the margin now. 5-6 plays 5-3. Plenty of movement from the Cairns boys. His kick out. Wanting to come wide. On a very long lead there is Westerberg. Just wants to sort of go short. Finds Ehrlich. Lucas Ehrlich had plenty of the ball this morning. His kick over finds Guy. Done this well today so far, the AFL Cairns boys. Just maintaining possession of the football. Just working the ball forward. Over the back of the pack. Unable to take the mark. But he's away now is Clough. Handball up, and now the kick to Walsh. Looking forward. Lemmy has to be strong, and Walsh is stronger. fantastic set of hands. I really like solid marking. He should have decided to chip this one over. In the end, it's not going to be a good result. Wason got back there and was able to affect the spoil, and what could have been a certain goal is now turned into a turnover, and Sydney are away. So very unlikely that Walsh will do that again. I'll tell you that now. Lee Steer now comes inside. Look at the run from the Sydney boys. Just turns inside. What's up forward? Looking there. In fact, it's Parmenter who's pushed forward. Another little handball off. They've worked it well, Sydney. Another shot on goal, and it's just offline. But the movement of the football from that last defensive effort is fantastic. Started with Ron Wason in the back line. And Walsh, well, given his time again, I'm sure he would have gone back and had the shot on goal. And now they get it back, the Sydney boys. And trying to push inside 50. Carey there trying to affect the spoil, but Weymouth does well and gets it to McCartney. Now he has one, has another, and now puts it on the boot. And a good mark taken by Knott. Handballs off. Now what can the Cairns boys do? Chips it up to the hot spot. Unable to get there was Walsh. Wrapped up in the tackle. Lemmy does very well. Just affected the tackle, and then they got the ball straight out of it, and he's away. Backs up his effort. Goes short. Finds Edwins. This is good from the AFL Sydney squad. Goes in. Couldn't get the target there. It was Parmenter. Just slipped through his hands. A lot on the football. And now it's Cairns to do the defensive efforts. McCartney. And what can they find up the ground? Good mark there taken by Mueller. Under pressure. Now he goes. Wants to go long. Does so. Walsh has found a bit of space. Lemmy there and the hands again. And this time, Walsh will go back and have a shot on goal. He has no other option. Lemmy there with a strong spoil attempt, but Walsh's hands are just like absolute vices once he gets the ball in them. And doesn't let it out. So this, to get the lead back going into half-time, and you'd back him in here. Walsh, he's kicked 3 this afternoon. Ball drop was a little offline, and in the end, so was the kick. So just the minor score, and the margin's 3 points as we go into half-time. It's 5 goals, 7 AFL Sydney, 37 AFL Cairns, 5 goals, 4, 34. And it was a very good effort there by the Sydney boys in that second quarter to get the lead back. And we go into the break with the margin just 3 points. Walsh has kicked 3 for AFL Cairns and singles to Elik and Knott, whilst for the AFL Sydney boys it's been all singles to Matt Carey, Nick Ryan, Tyrone Armitage, Henry Mason and Chris Erickson. We'll take a break here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It's half time and we'll be back in about 20 minutes time with all the action from the second half. It's representative football here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
like the Melbourne Cup. It's when you go down to the car. So we're not the most.
Getting set here for the third quarter of representative football. It's AFL Sydney versus AFL Cairns here at Blacktown International Sports Park. The margin at halftime, 3 points in favour of the home side in AFL Sydney. It was a good, strong second quarter that sees them in front. Goal kickers at the moment shared amongst the Sydney side. Carey has one, Ryan has one, Armitage with one, and Mason and Erickson, the big men, with one each. Whilst for the Cairns side, Ehrlich has kicked one, Knott has kicked one, but Walsh has been the target for them in the forward half, kicking 3 goals this afternoon. And as I said, just about set for third quarter. An early start here at Blacktown, and the sun just starting to take effect. It's been a good warm summer so far, a warm winter here in Sydney. Nothing on what Cairns would be experiencing at the moment, but we take what we get, and we're away in the third quarter. Ball goes forward, running onto that was Round. He's wrapped up, ball spills free. Armitage now wearing the headband. The side of the hair was getting in his way in that first half, and this occasion chopped off by Westerberg for AFL Cairns. Jewis. to push the ball wide and plenty of space out there as Adam Boone. Now Boone trying to find a target down forward. Running onto it. There was Mueller and turns back on the left boot, puts it up. Parika there, and Lemmy is able to. Well, he almost handballed that and gets it back. Wants to run around in circles. Does Lemmy? Goes to Wales, puts him under pressure, and the free kick coming. So not a great option there from Matt Lemmy. Handballed off and allowed his opponent to tackle Wales almost instantly. So it ends up in the arms of Stephen Davies for the Cairns side. North Cairns, 3 times AFL Cairns representative player, shot on goal, just doesn't have the legs, and just a minor score, margin reduced to 2. Played in the Premiership in 2010 with the Cairns Saints, did Stephen Davies. Carey the target here, has to punch, couldn't get onto the ball early enough to mark. Now wrapped up and have a ball up just inside 50. AFL Cairns end of the ground. Ericsson there comes in, third man up. Carey now wrapping up in the tackle. And we'll have another bounce. Nuggan was at ground level. And now Goodall runs onto this one. Finds a little bit of space in amongst the traffic. Pushing forward, but not to the advantage of his teammate, and McCartney does well to chop that one off. He now goes laterally and finds Ehrlich. It's probably been their best so far, the Cairns side. He drives them forward, and now with Guy. Guy now with a little chip kick, looking for a target forward. It could have been a free kick coming. Lemmy was very strong in that contest. Knott was the player who couldn't bring in the mark, but here they go again. There must be a player free. Walsh with a little handball off, finds a target, and that's a trip. And we saw that. I have a long memory, but we saw that same sort of thing in round 1, Giants versus Swans, where Kieran Jack affected a nice little ankle tap. On this occasion, the umpire saw it, and Stephen Davies will go back, and he'll have another shot on goal. Leans back, gets it on, and puts the Cairns side in front again. 6-5-41 now plays Sydney 5-7-37. And Stephen Davies, he has his first on the board this morning. So the AFL Cairns get the first on the board in the third quarter. Margin back to 4 points. And it's been a slow start to both the first and second quarters for the AFL Sydney side. And it looks like it's going to start again in the third. Good ruck work there from Westerberg. Just pushes it forward. Armitage's there, couldn't find the handle, and Cairns just pushed forward again. Having to foil the spoil was Nichols. Now they're away. Off the boot now of Mueller, just on the left boot, floating into goals, and Walsh back there has taken the mark. In fact, it's gone over for a point. I thought he might have just taken that inside. 5-7 plays 6-6. Parika goes short. And chopped off now. Matthew Smart. New player into Cairns in 2013 in the rep squad, and his kick's a good one. Walsh has found a ton of space. It can't happen. Matthew Walsh is so dangerous in front of goals. And he will now go back and line up for his fourth. The captain, Matthew Walsh. He'll stutter step as he comes in, but nice and settled, and no problem whatsoever. So Walsh gets his fourth on the board, and the margin now out to 11 points. How he found himself in that much space, we won't know, but they'll need to be aware of that, the AFL Sydney side. He is their target. 5-7-37 AFL Sydney. AFL Cairns 7-6-48. The margin 11 points here at Blacktown. We've played coming up to 6 minutes in this third quarter. Ericsson in the ruck, doing battle with Westerberg. And Goodall. Good work out of the centre. Now to Armitage. Wants to go round. Can't find a way. Goes back to Goodall. Now hands off to Carey. Carey drives inside. Just puts it behind his teammate. And tracking it back there was McCartney, but couldn't bring it in for AFL Cairns. And we'll have a boundary throw in right next to the point post. AFL Sydney's attacking end of the ground. Plenty of players around this contest. Short throw in. Probably advantages the AFL Sydney side. Armitage lurking there. Lee Steer trying to work hard. But the defenders for the AFL Cairns side have done very well. And will take this out of defence. Now with Nuggan. He drives it long. And a good mark taken there by Powell. And smothered off the boot as he tried to play on. So plenty around it, and the AFL Sydney boys, just a little bit of confusion around the football, and the result will be a ball up. They work the ball well out of defence to the AFL Cairns side. They're a good unit back there. Just a few little things from AFL Sydney that if they can get right, they'll push themselves back into this game. Armitage now is playing on the ball. Push them forward. Out of bounds. Lee Steer, in fact it's Ericsson and Lee Steer will just off the ruck. Ericsson and Westerberg will go at it again. Ericsson works his way to the front. Lee Steer in the end was the third man up and gets it to Goodall. Goodall now with a long raking left boot, looking for Mason back there, but once again not to his advantage. The free kick will go against Mason for a chop of the arms. And Cairns now moving the ball out the opposite side. Good mark taken by Nuggan again. The little fella goes forward, finds Clough. In fact, it's not Clough, it's Locke. Daniel Locke. Now inside 50 with 2 kicks, looking for Walsh. He's got a good set of hands, and it's against Lemmy here. Just a push in the back, I feel. Hands in the back against Walsh. So he's doing all he can, Matthew Lemmy, to try and contain the goal-scoring machine in Matthew Walsh, but on that occasion did too much. And if you're a betting man, you'd be marking this one down. He's a fantastic shot on goal. I've been very impressed. First chance to see Matthew Walsh, and you can see why he's kicked so many goals in the AFL Cairns competition, and he gets another one on the board in representative football. So that's his 5th, and he's been the difference so far. Walsh gets his 5th. The margin now back out to 17 points in favour of the AFL Cairns side. And AFL Sydney will now have to do what they've done the last 2 quarters and just try and contain this and get themselves back into this game. Approaching the 10-minute mark of the quarter. As I said earlier, AFL Cairns played up there at Kazali's in 2011 against AFL Sydney. And even though the Sydney side were up by 5 points at 3/4 time, it was Cairns who kicked away and got the win. Free kick here now to Sydney. Armitage gets it off Ericsson. Goes forward, and nice little push out there. The umpires has seen it. Thought it might have been missed there, so the free kick will go to Nick Ryan. He pops it up, and Edwards, who's floated forward, but the kick just hung in the air a little too long. Nichols there trying to get back onto it. Can't find the handle. Now he does. Goes inside, but he's wrapped up well, and a tackle there by Clough. And we'll have a ball up. I'd like to see a little bit more from Matty Edwards. He is a dangerous player up forward. Just haven't seen much of him this afternoon. Miller trying to get his way through. Carruthers there as well, but it's done well there as Jewis. Handballs off and gets it back. Now has to handball again. Kick goes to Clough, and he just tries to get it out of the area and does so. Now with Rokeby. Has one bounce and he's got a ton of space. Just decides to put it on the boot early. Goes forward, looking for... In fact, that was not who was the target. But ball hits the deck and wrapped up. We'll have another bounce. 11 minutes played, margin 17 points in favour of the visitors. Ball comes back. Rokeby with pace and nice skills. Just drags that in with one arm. Then goes central, but Edwards is there for AFL Sydney to chop this off. Carruthers hits the ball well. Tries to burrow his way through, but can't. Now in the hands of Powell. Tries to turn around the other way. He's wrapped up in a tackle, so no easy football out there at the moment for either side. And we'll have another stoppage. Lee Steer with the tap down. Now it comes to Jewis. He drives them forward. Parika, nice and settled, hits the ball. Good chop out there. And now drives them forward, trying to get to the back of the pack there was Nick Ryan. Now he goes off. This handball wasn't a good one. Fitzgerald overruns the ball. And just skill errors at the moment, letting the Sydney side down. McCartney now pushes them forward. Plenty around this footy. And just flying over the top. Just need to try and get their hands on the football. Good tackle applied there by Fitzgerald. But would work there from Davies from the Cairns side. They pop it forward. Player on his own there. It was Tannick, but he couldn't bring it in. Walsh lurking. Now Lemmy wants to go wide with the handball. Does so. And just relieves a little bit of pressure through the agency of Rawlinson. Rawlinson now wants to go down the line, but it was good, smart play there from Jewis. Jewis now drives him inside, and the kick's a good one. And he's found Nate Brenton Powell, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal. Premiership player in 2012. He was player coach in 2012 and picked up the Crathern medal for the best and fairest in 2012, did Brenton Powell. So, fair, handy footballer. The kick, does it have the distance? It doesn't. And was it touched? It was. So, just a minor score. Margin now, 18 points in favour of AFL Cairns. They'll have to get their skates on soon, the Sydney side, if they want to get themselves back into this one. Carruthers goes back to where it came from. Not a lot on offer for Matt Lemmy, so he has to kick. Trying to find Nichols there, but couldn't get to him. Now it's in dispute. Working well was Locke. Turns around one, goes around the other, and puts it through the middle. So the margin now 4 goals in favour of AFL Cairns. They're starting to get a roll on. Locke gets his first for the morning. And 8-7, 9-7, 61. Plays 5-7, 37. The margin 24 points. And danger signs for the Sydney side. 14 minutes played, third quarter. So Daniel Locke, 4 times rep player. Played in the premiership in 2003 for South Cairns. And he's a playing coach up there this year. Daniel Locke, so knows his way around a football field. Free kick now going to Ericsson for AFL Sydney. Just not a lot of movement forward. Edwins has to fade forward and does so. Just brings it on the fingertips. Now he goes. Wants to put it out in the front there of... Let's see who that was. Miller. And the turnover comes. Spinning out the tackle was Campbell. Good work there from the AFL Cairns defensive line once again. And now we'll have a boundary throw in. Near side. Ruckman will go at it. 1-on-1 round the contest. In fact, Armitage now just finding some space, but does Daniel Locke. Goes towards the AFL City advantage. Goodall pushes across. Wales puts Lemmy under a little bit of pressure. Now Lee Steer has to do it on his knees. Does so. Goes back, and it's just Amua Parika, and he's cocked it up. So it now lands in the hands of Walsh. Walsh drives it across, finds Powell. Powell throws it on the boot. They've got another one, the AFL Cairns. They're on a roll. And the margin now out to 30 points. of a possession now for the AFL Cairns side. Powell gets his first for the afternoon. As I said, the 2012 Crathern medalist for the best and fairest up there in the AFL Cairns competition. Another centre clearance, infringement here. It's going to Cairns this side, and now they're away. Elick pushes them forward, and out comes the big man in Adam Mueller. Takes an uncontested mark. Former Redlands player. He was the North Cairns best and fairest in 2012. And he's lining up for his first. They like it off the boot. Has it got the legs? I think it has. The umpire says it has. It's a goal. And it's another one to the AFL Cairns. 36 points the margin now, and it's starting to really blow out as Mueller gets his first. 7 individual goal scorers for the AFL Cairns side. And all singles bar Walsh, who's kicked 5. So, trouble now for AFL Sydney. Haven't scored a goal this quarter. They haven't scored at all this quarter. Now the margin is 36 points. It's all Cairns in the third quarter here at Blacktown. 73 plays 37, and they're out of the middle again, Cairns, and they push forward. Mueller driving forward again. Nice hard hit. Riding the bumps there was Plant, and trying to get it out of the area there. Fitzgerald for Sydney. Now lands back in his arms, goes to Lee Steer, throws it on the boot, and looking for Mason up there, and good work there, running onto the ball. I think that was Rawlinson. Now pushes him forward, looking for Nichols. In fact, it's Haddon, Douglas Haddon. But it's Cairns once again repelling the attack, and they push forward through Rokeby and finds Powell. Powell now goes back to Rokeby, just out in front of him, but he's got enough pace. He's going to outrun Ericsson. Ericsson just tries to drag him out of the contest, and umpire says he's not having enough of that. And Rokeby now gives it back to Powell. They're working well, those two, off the hands of Walsh. And it was good work there from Bradshaw. They're working well, the Cairns side. Powell again is chopped up, pushing to the top of the square. Parika does a good spoil. Now running on, needs a chop out. Can't quite find the handle. Carey's there to help out. Throws it on the left boot. They drive up now. They've got numbers here, and a good mark taken by Rory Miller from the Western Suburbs side. Just wants to settle. Goes inside. They need a score, and they need it quickly, the AFL Sydney side. Option out wide. Back to Rory Miller. And Nick Ryan. The lead was there, but it was Elick who read it well and just popped himself right into the danger zone. And now they're away. Lock. Another good kick to the advantage of Bradshaw. And they've got numbers and space. Not. He now has another player running on. They've got all sorts of run here now. It's Wearmouth. Wearmouth wants to go inside, looking for Rokeby, looking for Walsh. Walsh is there. Just drops out of his hands, and just a quick kick off the boot. Almost went through for a major score, but couldn't bring it round enough. And we now go to 11 goals, 8, 74, 37 points the margin. It's all AFL Cairns here at Blacktown, and it's all going wrong. Parika has stepped out of the goal square. 20 minutes played, third quarter. AFL Sydney yet to score in this quarter. And Cairns, on the other hand, well, they're starting to run it freely. And there they go again, just around the corner, a kick from Mueller again. And as easy as you like, and the heads are starting to drop for the AFL Sydney side. Mueller gets his second. Adam Mueller. And it's all going pear-shaped for the home side here at Blacktown. Margin blown out to 43 points now. They started this quarter behind AFL Cairns, and now they lead by 43 points. Back in the centre. Done very well so far, Westerberg in the ruck against bigger opponents. And Lemmy now wants to go back. Knew he had Wason back there. Wason wants to run. Now tries to push it wide. Not a lot on offer out there. Mason trying to get there, but smaller and faster opponent in Boone has wrapped him up in the tackle, and it's actually come off the boot of a Cairns player and gone out of bounds on the full. So a little bit of respite here for AFL Sydney, but not for long. They need something very quickly. Do the Sydney boys. Mason there was the target, just couldn't bring it in. Goodall roves the pack and drives them forward. Good spoil at the back there from Campbell, but still under pressure. Oh, it's a good tackle there on Parmenter, and the ball goes out. See in the background there, the Giants. Blacktown in the heart of Western Sydney territory down here in Sydney. Giants taking on Geelong later on this afternoon out there at Skoda Stadium. In the meantime, it's all AFL Cairns here at the moment. 12 goals, 880. Sydney 5-7-37. They're away again out of defence. An interesting looking kick there off the boot. And it lands in the arms of Mason. So trying to do a little bit too much there. That was the Cairns defender. Didn't quite see who it was there. But in the end, it lands in the arms of Henry Mason. And, well, to say they need this is an understatement. Mason from the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Club here in Sydney goes back and just pushes it left. So just when they needed something to happen at the 23.5-minute mark, shot on goal from Mason just fades left, and it gives Cairns the opportunity to get the ball coast to coast. Oh, look at this. Mueller it was in the end that took the fly, but it could have been either him or Dixon to take the screamer. In the end, it was Mueller. Now with Smart, drives them forward and finds the target, and look, they're just running it. Will here, not now with a shot on goal, and he snuck it in. What a fantastic play. Called it from coast to coast, and what was a Sydney shot on goal ends up as a goal to Sean Knott, and the margin now is getting well beyond what the Sydney boys will be able to achieve. 46 points, 48 points the margin. And Knott gets his second for the afternoon. And just a procession here at the Blacktown International Sports Park. Been all one-way traffic in the third quarter. And the AFL Sydney Boys have ground to a halt. 24.5 minutes played. Goodall tracks this back, trying to build something for his team. And we'll be wrapped up. We'll have another bounce. Ericsson wins this one down for AFL Sydney. Comes clear, wrapped up there was, I think it was Clough. And high contact being found in here, and we'll go to the Sydney boys. Miller, oh, big spoil there. And it lands in the arms of Mueller. He hands off. Jewis drives them in long, looking for, actually it's Knott at the back there. And the ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. 25.5 minutes played, third quarter. Plenty of time left, you'd think, with the procession of goals that have been scored by the boys in green and yellow. No doubt they'll be heading out to Skoda Stadium this afternoon to enjoy a bit of AFL football as well. Mueller in the ruck, just pops it into the danger zone. Walsh lurking, wants to go, just couldn't find enough space. and then Mueller gets it back and kicks it forward, but Parika finds it. But just done so much good forward pressure, this AFL Cairns boys. They don't let the ball come out easy at any opportunity. The captain, Matt Carey, just toe pokes it forward, but it's all Cairns. And look at the numbers here. Finds Clough. Clough goes inside and will load up. Westerberg drives it long, looking for Knott again in there again. And once again, the Sydney boys having to just throw it on the boot to get it out of their defensive 50. Round now just tries to invent a small kick. Finds Wales. Wales goes inside. And they've got a little bit of movement here now. The Sydney boys. Inside 50. Ryan the target. Too big for him. Falls to Parmenter. Parmenter on the hands. Finds Carey, and Carey just rolls it through for a much needed goal. And that's their 6th. And second goal for Matt Carey. So, got one back. The Sydney boys. 27-minute mark of the third quarter. (6:8:44) AFL Sydney, 13:8:86 to AFL Cairns. The margin approaching three-quarter time is 42 points. And this third quarter has been all AFL Cairns. And they've set themselves up for a second win in the row this time on away soil. And they work it out of the middle again. Driving forward, but back there is Lee Steer. And he finds Carey. It looks like they might have been put one behind the contest now. Sydney playing a loose man in defence. And having to scramble. I think that was Eriksson that drove it forward. Plenty of tackles being applied, but Cairns able to get the clear. Carey goes one way, goes back into trouble, has to go on the hands in the end, and in the end Nick Ryan throws it on the boot, but is offline. 6-9 now, AFL Sydney. Approaching the 29-minute mark of this third quarter. Dewis. Elick with the ball, was so handy early, and now it's with Clough. Clough goes forward, ball falls free to Dixon. Dixon drives down the line and finds Knott. Now Knott outside 50, puts it up, looking for Walsh, and dropping back there was Wason, who seems to have the job on Walsh now. Oh, good work there from Davies. Yeah, he just picked up that loose ball, and he pops it through for another goal late in the quarter. 14 goals they've kicked now, AFL Cairns, and Davies gets his second, so really starting to rack the numbers up now, the visitors. .29, nearly half an hour played in this third quarter. I mean, plenty of goals scored, plenty of time on. Approaching three-quarter time. Comes down. And they go forward again, and a good mark taken by Bradshaw. Two bites at that cherry, and brought it in on the second one. And will now go back. And a chance at his first goal of the morning. Kurt Bradshaw, Port Douglas player. He's their captain in 2012. And, well, the kick didn't make the distance, but There to mop up was Adam Mueller, who's really stepped up in this third quarter. And he'll have a chance to put his third on the board. Easy as you like. Gets it through. So Mueller gets his third. Cairns get their 15th right on three-quarter time. And the margin at three-quarter time, 53 points. It's been a huge turnaround. And they go into the three-quarter time break. Well in control of this game, do AFL Cairns. 6-9, 45 AFL Sydney. 15-8, 98 AFL Cairns. The margin, 53 points. We'll take a short break, but join us back here in 5 minutes' time. All the action from the final quarter of representative football at Blacktown International Sports Park. About to get underway. Final quarter here. Representative football at Blacktown International Sports Park, and it's AFL Cairns by 53 points as we head into the final quarter. So it's all ahead of the locals if they want to get themselves back into this game. It was a fantastic effort in that third quarter by the Cairns boys, and they really dominated proceedings. And it's now a big task. Plant drives the Sydney boys forward. Goodall unable to bring the mark, but it lands back in his lap. Handball's up to Armitage. Armitage goes around the corner, but just can't bring it back. 6 goals, 10. The margin 52 points in favour of the visitors. As I said, it was a big effort by the Cairns boys to really pile the goals on in the third quarter. They started the quarter 3 points behind. They ended up 53 points ahead. So a sensational third quarter by the visiting side has really set themselves up for a win here in the biannual contest between these two sides. Mark comes out. Plenty of green and yellow around this ball. And the ball comes through to Powell. Powell now pops it up. And McCartney it was who got the handball clear. They push forward now in front of Guy. Clint Guy goes backwards. They've worked it well. Just they've been very slick with their skills. And comes off hands. Davies there tracking the ball back in the area as well as Westerberg for the Cairns boys. And we'll have a ball up. No, we've seen a free kick. Dragging the ball in. It's against Davies. And Sydney get the ball. Well, they almost got the ball clear. Out of the 50 zone now, but just through sheer persistence along the ground. Wason wrapped up in that tackle. Good work there by Eriksson, overstepping his opposition player. And now it's inside 50 for the Blues, and it's taken by Parmenter. So Parmenter will have a shot on goal. Stalwart for the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Football Club. Played in their premiership last year and now has a chance to put it on the board, but missing again. 6 goals, 11 now to the home side. And a couple of those goals at times when they really needed to get a major. Cairns now puts it underneath Guy. Does very well to affect the spoil. The tackle from Clough was a good one as well. And now the boundary line wins out. Have a boundary throw in. I'm really impressed with the ruck work of Westerberg this morning. Up against bigger bodies, but certainly give them plenty around the ground. Goodall now goes forward, trying to just get this ball clear. Just both handballs just missed the target, and his teammates unable to bring the ball in. You can see the frustration on his face there. Plenty of players around this contest in the forward half. 4:54 the Sydney AFL side, and Armitage applies the tackle. And we'll see a free kick for high contact, so nothing going right at the moment for the AFL Sydney side. Looking out here for Mueller. He was one of the architects of that dominant third quarter. And his kick, looking over there for McCartney. And does very well to squeeze that kick through traffic and puts it out in front. And in the area is Bradshaw. Goes one way, goes the other. Now goes back inside. They've worked it well, the Cairns boys. They drive forward looking for Walsh. He couldn't find the handle. It now ends up with Elik and ridden into the ground there by Wason for the Sydney side. And we'll have a ball up. 4.5 minutes played in the final quarter. Eriksson late on the scene, gets the spoil clear, and trying to push his way through there was Clough. Does very well now in Bradshaw's hands, tries to squeeze this one through the middle, but just fades to the near side, and minor score. 52 points the margin 5 minutes played, final quarter. As we say, these two teams meet every 2 years, and 2 years ago up there at Kazales, it was the home side in AFL Cairns running away with it in the final quarter after being down at three-quarter time. Ended up winning the game by 16 points. And on this occasion, looks like they'll take the chocolates again here in Sydney. Ericsson trying his best. Parika now, he's been good for the AFL Sydney side. Margin would have been a lot bigger if not for some of the efforts out of the back line from him. Edwins now with the ball. Lee Steer, hands on. Over to Nichols, and it goes back to Lee Steer. Good movement now at the back of the pack, every opportunity, and it's taken by Carey, and he'll run into an open goal, and he'll get the goal. And it's his third for the afternoon. It's a very well-weighted kick, and well read by Carey. And goal to the AFL Sydney reduces the margin to 46 points. They'll need a few more of those if they want to have any sort of crack at taking this game out. Sydney 7-11-53, Cairns 15-9-99, the margin 46 points. All set up in that third quarter. And now we'll see how they play through. Sydney AFL drive forward again, unable to bring that in there. It's like a Parmenter. But now Carey trying to lift his side, throws on the left boots out in front of Armitage. He brings this in. So, in fact, it's Edwins. Got the long scruffy hair mixed up, but Matt Edwins, well, he's been known to kick these, but this time he just chops off nice and easy, goes to Parmenter, and they get another one, the Sydney boys, so they may not be done with yet. 8-11-59, they trail by 40 points now. They've kicked the last two in this final quarter, and you get the sense that the Cairns boys might have put the cue in the rack. Won't take much, I don't think, for them to right the ship, and they'll get themselves back on track. But some good signs for the Sydney boys. A few early goals in this final quarter. Margin 40 points. Ball comes down, Goodall at the front of the pack, gets a free kick for high contact and hands off. The handball once again, just a little bit too much on it, and Collett had to get the second effort. Fitzgerald drives them forward, but well read by Locke. Oh, big fly there from Selby Lee Steer. He goes inside, finds Ericsson, the big fella. Ericsson drives them forward, looking for Carey. Oh, big fly at the pack there from Tennick. Couldn't bring it in. Now it's with Armitage. Armitage finds a way over to Edwins. Edwins with a shot on goal. It's for three in a row, and he's got it. So a little bit of spark here from the AFL Sydney boys, and they're starting to build something. Edwins gets his first of the afternoon, and the margin now back to 34 points. Not outside their possibilities now for the Sydney boys. They haven't rolled over. It was good movement there. It was good work by Armitage to bring the ball to ground and then get it across to Edwins. It's a fantastic leap by Tennick, but he was able to bring it back in. And the result was a goal to Sydney. 9-11-65, 15-9-99 AFL Cairns. And another one here. And it'll be very much game on. Good attack in the middle. There's been a free kick seen here holding the man. It will go to AFL Cairns. Might be just what they need. And you can see Ehrlich trying to rally his troops. Now he'll just drive them long inside 50. Looking for Walsh. Back there, well read. Was Plant, and now he's away. The kick, scrubby off the boot. Sort of finds its way through a couple of sets of hands. Tenick now will get it out of the area. Oh, well read, but it's not paid there. So the kick from Nuggan goes inside. Lee Steer fades across. It's a good mark. And gets it off. Maybe just needed to rest a little bit on there. Play it to their own terms. And good work by the Cairns forwards to knock this one in. Goes back to Nuggan. Nuggan drives it forward and it's in the arms of Walsh. And this, you think, will right the ship for the Cairns boys. And you'd almost pencil this one in. He's kicked 5 this afternoon. This for his bag of goals at Blacktown. Walsh, easy as you like. Umpire does work. Didn't need to. Should have just stood still and watched it sail over his hat. Walsh gets his 6th, and AFL Cairns just stem the flow a little bit. They break the 100 mark for 16-9, 105 now. AFL Sydney 9-11, 65. And what better hands would you want the ball in than Matthew Walsh? As we said, kicked 134 goals in 2012. 5 times AFL Cairns representative player, 2 times Queensland representative player, and he was the captain of Queensland as well. So league best and fairest back in 2008. So there's none better in the AFL competition up there in Cairns than Matthew Walsh, and he has 6 this afternoon. Another centre square infringement, and it will go to Cairns. A little bit of confusion though. In fact, boundary umpires pointed the wrong way, and it will go to the AFL Sydney boys. So bit of a let off, but with 12 minutes on the clock, you'd think time was against the locals. In the arms of Elik, he's been fantastic this afternoon, and just handball misses the target, and Sydney will make them pay. They go forward through Carey. Now this is very kickable for Matt Carey. Doesn't want to. In fact, he's going to have to now. He's been told to play on. Umpire decided he wasn't going to have a shot, so didn't give him the full allotted time. And there's a free kick here for a chop of the arms, and it will go to Mason. And another shot on goal for AFL Sydney. Henry Mason will take this one. Just leans back on it, but brings it to the near side. Minor score, 9 goals, 12. Sydney set up the zone for this kick out, as they have done all day. Goes long, right down the middle. It's a huge kick, straight through. It's a 65-metre kick. And falls to the back of the pack. Good tackle applied there, but there's going to be pinged for high contact, I believe, here. In fact, the umpire's going to ball it up. So I thought it might have been just high contact on the second effort, but good to see. Umpire balls it up. Now they go through the middle. Guy to Nuggan. Now he drives them forward. Wason there. And Wason's done a pretty good job on Walsh since they've moved him there. Lemmy was struggling. He was strong hands. Wason's just played it a little bit smarter. And Sydney had plenty of numbers streaking forward there, but once again a skill error, a turnover the ball, and they make you pay. And sitting back there all on his own was Westerberg, and just a skill error in the transition by the Sydney boys, and all of a sudden it's a shot on goal to Westerberg. Played in the NTFL last year for the Waratahs, did Westerberg. He's new to the AFL Cairns competition in 2013. And the kick Not a great one. And kicks it for a minor score. Disappointed there. You saw him with his hands on his head. Kick now, long out of defence. Plenty of green and yellow around this again. Off the boot of Nugget, I think it is, and it's a goal. They make you pay, and that's their 17th. And it was a good goal. The margin back out to 46 points. I've given the mark to Nugget. It should have been Davies. The 3 and the 13 mixed up there. So Davies kicks his third for the afternoon. Back in the middle. 16 minutes played, and it's Cairns again out of the centre. They drive forward. Not able to take the mark there was Plant, and it comes back to Davies. Davies throws it on the boot, and whistle on the play. It's going against AFL Cairns. Go to Fitzgerald. North Shore player here in Sydney. North Shore Bombers. Kick near the boundary line, and the boundary will win out. AFL Sydney live streaming. We bring that to you every week down here from the AFL Sydney competition. And it's been a pleasure to bring the representative game to you as well. Cairns now, plenty of numbers around the ball, just trying to find a clear avenue to goal. Can't do so. Almost a free kick there against Nichols. Did the 360. Davies now gives it off to Ehrlich. Can't get there. And holding the man. Advantage will be played. They get it out of defence now, Sydney. And Carey takes a strong mark. Decides to go on with it. Didn't know where he wanted to go. Had to work his way back on the left boot. A good kick now towards Edwards. Edwards at the back of the pack. Must run on. Can't get it off, but he's got a second chance off the deck. And it's a goal. Thought he might have overrun it too far there. Matt Edwards was able to get the ball back and kicks his second. 10 goals, 12 to the Sydney side. 17-10, 112 AFL Cairns. It was good movement out of the back line by the Sydney boys on that occasion. In the middle, once again, Ericsson up for AFL Sydney. And Wales now pushing his way through the middle, pushes it forward. Carey will be blocked off. It's good work by the AFL Cairns side to work that one out. Pushing the back will be paid, and it will go to Davies. It's against Plant, I think. Yes. And Lee Steer able to go back and chop that one off. Handball's off to Parika, and he's dispossessed, and that's holding the ball on every day, but umpire lets this one play. Lemmy now trying to find a way out. Goes to Armitage. Armitage now on the left, drives them forward, finds Carey. Good strong mark there. Seen so much of in the local competition from Matt Carey. Now pushes it forward. Parmenter trying to track this back. Has it one way, has the other, and eventually goes out of bounds for a throw-in. 19 and a half minutes played, final quarter. Erickson brings this down to Wales. Wales now struggles his way out of the tackle. Goes into the pocket looking for Edwins. And just off hands. Boundary throw in, about 20 metres around from goal. Just through the 20-minute mark, so time on in the final quarter. It's the AFL Cairns by 40 points. It was all set up in that third quarter. Sydney are actually leading this quarter. They've reduced the margin by 13 points. It was 53 points at three-quarter time. Now 40 points the margin, but they put in the hard yards. Fitzgerald did very well to keep that one in. Threw it on the boot indiscriminately, and it's landed in the arms of Wales. So Tim Wales will go back and have a shot. Play a lot of his football in the back line, Wales, and now finds himself having a shot on goal. Plays for the Pennant Hills side here in Sydney. And his kick's a good one. Never looked like missing. And gets another one on the board. So back to 34 points the margin. And Tim Wales gets his first of the game. (11-12-78). Plays 17-10, 112. In the middle, and it's AFL Cairns who bring this one out. Pushing forward, Nichols back there. This is Davies for Cairns, and we'll have a ball up. Late on the scene, Mason just pushes his way through and the ball hits the deck. Wales there at ground level, just gets it clear. Now they're away. Fitzgerald just grabbed at the final moment, and the pressure on the kick forces the turnover. Wearmouth goes inside. Now they've got players running free. Powell across now to, that was Locke, and now they're inside 50. A shot on goal coming. Mueller there was underneath it but couldn't bring it in, and it goes through for a rush behind. Lemmy with the kick out, not a good one. All to the advantage there of Matthew Smart, and a good mark taken. And it will come back in with interest. And here it is, another shot on goal will come. Jesse Dixon from the Cairns Saints. His brother Charlie plays for Gold Coast Suns. He's the captain in 2012 up there at the Saints. Just couldn't bring this one round, out of bounds on the full. The result. Wason decides to go himself. Didn't really need to kick that to himself then. Have a little laugh at that of the tape. Could have just run. Out of bounds on the full, Ronnie. And he drives him up. Lee Steer, another strong mark. He's been good this afternoon. Armitage now shows it one way but decides to go the other. Throws it on the boot looking for Goodall. The kick was a good one. Now Goodall, he's got a player out in space here in the form there of Collett. Collett now goes inside looking for Armitage again. Couldn't break it in, but it falls at his feet. Throws on the left boot too far, and he almost needed to just pop it up for Carey. And in the end, trickles through for a minor score. 24 minutes played, final quarter. Comes out and the mark's taken. Players spread. Tied now. Long trip down from Cairns to here at Blacktown in the west of Sydney. Right in the heart of GWS Giants territory here at Blacktown. Mason does the ruck work. And shagged away there by Cairns. And the kick goes out of bounds, so we'll have another boundary throw in. It's been a good effort. Andy Viola, the coach of the Cairns side, they've been training for a number of weeks, and you can show that it's really set up in their game plan. They've worked well as a team, and no better example than that third quarter where they just ran away with the game. Been played in very good spirits. Representatives teams sometimes can get a little bit out of hand, but on this occasion it's been played very, very well, and they drive it forward again. Do Sydney. Good punch there by Matt Carey, quite out of position behind his opponent in Brendan Tennick. As the pack reconforms just on the 50-metre arc. Short throw in, having to run onto it. Now in the arms of Parmenter. He's wrapped up by McCartney. And now it comes out to Armitage. Ball comes back through Round. He drives them forward. Lee Steer in the area. Edwards goes back on it. Knows where the goals are. Turns back on the right boot. It's a good kick. Through for a goal. And Matt Edwards, he gets his third. And the margin now under 20 points. But the time over 26. 28 points the margin. So under 30 points as Edwards gets his third. It's been a good effort in the final quarter by the AFL Sydney boys, but all the damage done in the third quarter. Approaching 27-minute mark. Margin 28 points, 12-13-85, 17-11, 113 in favour of the visitors, AFL Cairns. Sydney are away again. Goodall just throws it on the boot, goes forward to Edwards, the goal scorer, goes back to Goodall. Goodall goes into Armitage. Armitage loves these, goes back on the left boot, drives it into goal, and he's offline. 12 goals, 14. And a number of goals that could have gone the other way. AFL Sydney today, that one included. And it might have been a little bit of a different story. Haven't taken their chances when they've been there. Adam Mueller, former Redlands player, he goes inside, a bit of a lazy kick. The turnover comes. Carey to Armitage. Armitage gets rid of one, goes back to Carey. Carey loves these on the left, drives it into the goal square. Running into it is Edwards, lets it bounce, probably a mistake, or it's gone all the way. It's a goal to Matt Carey. He gets his fourth. The margin now is 21 points. He's out above 53 points at one stage. Three-quarter time margin was 53 points. It's now back to 21. You just get the feeling that Cairns have really relaxed on the pedal. And you'd have to say, I believe they've done enough. There's not enough time left for the result to be turned, but possibly the scoreline will flatter the Sydney side in the long run. Good mark by Lee Steer. He's been good, strong hands overhead. Yeah, the scoreline might flatter the Sydney boys in that you really get the sense that Cairns have just relaxed a bit in this final quarter. Wason now through to Mason. The big fella just leans back on the kick, pops it up. Edwards. Armitage flies, couldn't bring it down. Back into the arms of Edwards. Now in front of Carey. Does the roving work there, and trying to bring it back was Haddon. Couldn't do so. 13-15 now. 20 points the margin. Siren can't be too far off. We've just ticked over 29 minutes. And a settling kick out of defence. Lands in the arms of Campbell. His kick just trickles over the boundary line. 6 goals to Matthew Walsh from the AFL Cairns side has really been the difference today. 3 goals to Davies in the end. There was 2 goals to Sean Knott And Adam Mueller with a couple of good goals, singles to Locke, Elik, Powell and Nuggan. Whilst for AFL Sydney, Carey has 4, Edwins chimed in with 3, and singles to Parmenter, Wales, Armitage, Mason and Ericsson. It's been a good effort by the visitors. They won the first game 2 years ago by 16 points. They look like winning this one by a similar margin, although in different fashion. In 2011 they were down at three-quarter time. At this game they were up by 53 points, so the result might be the same. The journey was a little different. But they'll win this one, AFL Cairns, and it'll be 2 years' time until we get a chance, the Sydney boys, for redemption. They've run this ball. Good tackle by Fitzgerald. Umpire says play on, and now he's going to say holding the man. So that's a interesting decision. I thought the tackle was good enough to earn himself a free kick for holding the ball. 31 minutes ticked over, so a long quarter. Mason doing good work down there in the defensive half. Goes across, tries to find Round, couldn't find the handle. In there was Nichols. Good tackle and able to get the ball back. Last chance. Go forward. And once again, chopped off by AFL Cairns, and the siren sounds on this representative game. It was a fantastic effort by both teams, but in the end it was the third quarter by the AFL Cairns side that really set up the win, and the margin in the end was 20 points. AFL Sydney 13-15, 93. AFL Cairns 17-11, 113. We ran through the goal scorers just briefly, but it was Matthew Walsh who kicked 6 for AFL Cairns, and he led the goal scorers today. Matt Carey kicked 4 for the home side. So the margin 20 points in the end. It was a good game, and congratulations to the AFL Cairns side who have taken out their second in a row against the AFL Sydney boys. And we'll finish up here at Blacktown International Sports Park with the result going to the boys from AFL Cairns. Thanks for joining us here on the AFL Sydney Match of the Week. You can catch live football every weekend from the AFL Sydney competition at AFL Sydney Live. And in the meantime, once again, thanks for joining us. It's been a great day. Congratulations to the AFL Cairns side, and we'll see you next time on the AFL Sydney Match of the Week.